So I purchased lately that keyboard from Yamaha, PSR E463, and there are actually three models of that. So that 463, 363, 263, something like that. So the main difference, because I choose that one, is this has in the middle here a kind of effect board that is built in. So I was, let's say, I made a long pause and then I'm a beginner in playing keyboard. So, but now I play a lot with those effect section. And in this video, I want to give you an overview how to activate it, use the different effect functions. So you have here, for instance, live control buttons, but you have also knobs assigned that you need to change the DSP effects. So that are the DSP effects that you can activate with the section called voice control. As most of the keyboard is very basic that every Yamaha keyboard has, or some models. So we choose the jog wheel to select the instruments. I get there are a lot of tutorials that explain that. And this keyboard has that function that it's reset to grand piano again. To be very, that is a shortcut. And what I use a lot is the memory, where I can set 4 instruments, but also edit the adjustments specific for each instrument. So if it has the DSP effect on, what DSP effects, and also what range has this pitch bend for each instrument. So you see in a later step that this is set differently for each instrument, what is applied to it. So first I should start just with a piano kind of sound and activate the DSP effect. That is one short button, and when I click it once, that the DSP effect here, you see it's activated, but it's very basically the default one for that instrument. To come into the menu where you select the DSP effect, you just click it longer, so for 1 second or so, and then you are in the menu where you can select with the jog wheel the kind of DSP effect that is applied. You see, because I pressed it once shortly, the DSP effect is already on, so you hear it, and then you switch through the DSP effects and hear immediately what they sound like. So that is a rotary type. I go to something like distortion 1, that you hear the effect. So and there is a nice thing you can apply. That are the buttons for changing the effects. And if you see here, you have the live control functions. When I click on that knob assign, it changes this this knob assign modes, let's say, here in the menu. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so far. And here you have the overview. So that are some default ones every instrument has: cut on, resonance, reverb, chorus. We can go later to that. And on 3 you see DSP parameter A and DSP parameter B. So that means I have now here the DSP effect set to distortion for the piano, right? And when I click the knob assign button here on the left 3 times, that here is 3 is applied. You see in the menu here the 3. So that means those 2 knobs are now controlling the DSP effect for my piano sound with the distortion. So when that is for instance the piano, I can turn it to the right. Now I have it more. Here I have it less. And the other parameter that is for that DSP effect applicable seems to have to do something with the attack. So how fast that effect is applied to the piano sound. So, and of course a distortion might not very useful for a piano, but very good on that keyboard, for instance, is the rotary effect, because it has a very nice stereo delay kind of thing. Or what is good now, because I don't have here the stereo output connected to the video, so the tremolo effect, you can also hear that very good. So, and the good thing is, while you are playing, you can control it, the effect, and modify your playing. So that are the adjustable DSP effects. Of course you can set it off. When you click it once, the DSP is no longer active. Even it shows here tremolo because I pressed DSP before very long. It is not active when it's deactivated here. So to reset all, I just hit the piano button and it's reset because it's set the default to piano. Another very interesting thing are the predefined DSP effects, or predefined effects each instrument has. So cut off, resonance, and you got the idea because I explained to you how it worked. So I pressed the knob sign button, for instance, to come to position number 1, and then those knobs are assigning now cut off and resonance. That you can apply to the sound, and of course you can switch to live control number 2, what is the reverb and chorus. That is at the beginning it was very useful because I don't had back in the days that pedal here, that is of course a sustain pedal. So when you don't have it, you can, for piano sound, just use the reverb, for instance, and you have a nice effect. Number 3 I already explained, DSP parameter A and B. Then 4 is attack. So now it's fading in. So it is still the piano. And the next is release. And the 5th is volume balance and retrigger rate. I don't know if I tested that effect very often, or if I would hear the difference. So I usually most use the 4 first ones. So that is the good difference for that 463 compared to the other models of that range, let's say. That whole effect bar here is added to the keyboard. And what I use very often is that I already decided for a kind of effect and for a DSP effect attached to an instrument, and with pressing long that button, that memory button, and then number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, no, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, it will save that instrument that you currently have created on your short memory banks. I don't do it because I have it here already set up. For instance, that first instrument is a bass or something. And what I did here is I used that dual function. So every instrument can have a second instrument on top of it. So if you press dual, now you have it deactivated. And with dual it is activated. So to explain you how that is made, so I reset it to piano again. So now I have the piano set. Press dual once to have the dual activated. So the principle is the same like we applied the DSP effect. So you first activate it, now it's there. Then you play something, you hear the default strings, let's say, for that instrument. So every instrument, the piano for instance, has the strings as a default, yeah. And you can press dual now 1 or 2 seconds. Then a new menu will appear where you have the strings now assigned, and you can of course use another one. And then you have the piano on top of another instrument. From the menu now you can use that category buttons to switch over. Let's see. Switch over parameters that are only applied for the second voice. So let's go again to that menu. Here I have the D voice menu. So that are of course the voices. So then you have the D volume. So that is the dual volume, let's say. So if my second instrument is louder or more silent. Category next, D octave. So if that second instrument is in the same octave or 2 octaves lower, for instance. So it is one hand playing, but I have a bass tone applied to it. So let's imagine I go 2 steps back to set the voice. I had already a piano, but as a second instrument I can use the same piano over that first one. So, but I just transpose it 1 octave lower, make it a bit louder. So I have here 1 chord, and that is actually transposed into the second chord with the same instrument in that case. They're very, very useful function. Of course you can use an octave higher or 2 octaves higher as well. So the next thing is where it's panned, to the left, to the right. How much reverb does the dual voice has, and so far. So you got an idea of what is applied. What I figured out is now I have this sustain pedal here, but the sustain pedal only is applied to the first voice. So to show it a bit better, we use let's say another instrument for the dual voice, organ, and maybe the octave to lower. So now when I press the sustain pedal, only the piano has that. No, actually I told you the wrong thing. It's applied to both instruments, but it might be that each instrument behaves in a different way on the sustain pedal. That can be the case. Okay, another try, because that is a bit tricky designed here. So the case that I am in the DSP menu, which is below that line voice control, I am not able to come back to the regular menu, but I found out, for instance, I click here on Master EQ very long, so the thing is where you can remind that is it's be upper from that line voice control, so you come back to the main menu where you have that category now switching through all the options of the keyboard, because that is a combination with what you store later in the keyboard itself. For instance, I wanted to show you that menu that is called PB, pitch bend range, I suppose. So, and sometimes I want to go just a bit with that pitch bend wheel, but sometimes it is a bit more that I want to bend that voice, for instance 12 semitones, and that is then saved into that bank of the instrument. So if I press memory and press 1, for instance, because I want to save the instrument with the pitch bend applied, it will be added into the instrument. It is not added overall in the settings for each and every instrument, it just applied for that instrument. So to show you how it will sound like. So that are now 12 semitones, the second as well, the third has only 2, so it is saved, and that is the drum. Also the drum is going through that effect. So yeah, very interesting. So 12, 12, 2, 2 semitones, I don't know, pitch bend defined on the instrument I created. And also for each and every instrument, the settings, if dual is activated or if DSP is activated, for instance, that is now position 2. So the second instrument has created, dual activated, so a second voice, and DSP activated. So let me have a look what that is. So DSP type for that is set to tremolo, and the second voice is set to jazz guitar. So and that means the knob number 3 is changing the tremolo. Yeah, and maybe that is the thing I wanted to tell, because we have a dual instrument now, and that tremolo effect is only applied to the first instrument. So the DSP effects are not for both instruments at the same time. So one instrument is basically raw that you hear, and one instrument is basically changed through the DSP effect. So long button to dual, the jazz guitar in that instrument, when I go to the categories, you see the volume is set to 65. It's 1 octave lower than the rest. It's, I don't know, it is panned differently probably. The reverb, chorus, no chorus. I mean that means S voice means split voice. So now we are in that menu. When you split it, you hit it once, you have here the split effect, and then of course the bass and other instruments. Its principle is basically the same. Long press, you come to the settings menu, and that is how it's all combined in that amazing keyboard. Leave me your comments, and it is a pleasure to make such videos. So see you, bye.